On another episode of Soothing Semantics, I am your host, Rafi Pinsky. Make sure to subscribe, smash the like button, leave your comments, and make sure to check out my Instagram at Rafi the Realtor for all of your real estate needs, whether that is buying, selling, renting, or investing. I rolled out a weekly email not long ago, very informative. Took me quite some time to put it together. So please make sure to sign up for that. So this way, even if you're looking to buy or sell something in 10 years, you'll have all the necessary information at your disposal. Without further ado, we have part two, the second episode together with the jeweler man himself, Aryeh Rephun. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me back. I know it's a rare occurrence that you guys got repeating guests. You're really busy, so I appreciate it.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. So Aryeh is the CEO, the owner of Aryeh Co. Custom Jewelry. He makes all different kinds of beautiful pieces. God willing, I'm going to buy a piece from him as well in the near future. And he had the good fortune of working with some very interesting people, man. So for people who haven't watched your first episode, make sure to watch the first episode I did with him. Just scroll through and you'll find it. I'm happy to send it to you guys if you're too lazy to look through it. Give us a little bit of an idea for the viewers who haven't seen the first video of what you're all about. And then we'll go into the really cool people you've done some custom jewelry for.
Definitely. So in the first video, I kind of touched on our background. We do a lot of custom design, diamond jewelry, high ends, precious metal, precious gemstone jewelry. I built the company and started the company in 2018 and have just been building the brand ever since. Most of what we do is custom design, but we also make engagement rings, bridal pieces, things like that. So we kind of and we offer finished pieces as well, designer, some classic staples. And yeah, so we're just constantly growing our client base, offering a VIP luxury feel experience where each client gets, their own personal attention from our design team. And we try to just constantly improve that experience for them and create beautiful pieces that they can enjoy for years and generations to come. So That's what we're up to.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah. And also, guys, make sure to check out his Instagram page, Aryeh at Aryeh Co. And this way you can see all the wonderful pieces that he's put together. And if you need anything custom, just reach out to him. I'm going to link all the information in the description so everyone can find it with ease. So we were mentioning off the pod that you did a ring recently for Sammy the Bull, Sammy Gravano, who was a big time mobster. I initially saw him on Patrick Bet-David, as you were mentioning. So that guy's got a wild story. He was a very, very big time gangster back in the day. And you recently, you already did the piece, or you're still working on it?
Yeah, so we finished the piece a couple months ago, actually, but it took about a month. We had a back and forth, tried to figure out exactly what it was he wanted. We made something custom. So yeah, it took about a month to finish. We finished it a couple months back and it came out, really cool.
What does something like that cost, if you don't mind me asking?
Retail, if we made it, it was around $3,000-4,000 for the ring. We took care of him. He has a really cool backstory. He's well known. He was John Gotti's right-hand man. So I just, it was just a cool type of partnership to have, even though he's a little bit older now, it was definitely a cool experience. So we took care of him on it and yeah, it came out awesome.
It's super cool, dude. Did he well, give us an idea. How did you guys connect? How did that whole thing happen?
So this was one of the partnerships that I personally just wanted to kind of make happen. So I had seen the Patrick Bet-David Mafia States of America documentary that he was a big part of. Then I started kind of listening to his podcast, and he just talks about, the mafia being John Gotti's right-hand man, like his being such a huge figure at that time, in New York City. I found it really interesting. So I reached out to him on Instagram, actually told him, it would be cool to maybe work on a piece together, something meaningful, something that has history behind it. So yeah, and then I spoke to his assistant. We all got in touch. We started going back and forth about designing, and we eventually made it happen.
So he responded to you personally in the DM, or was it an assistant?
It was, so it's hard to know always whether it's someone running it because they kind of talk like him. So there were times where it seemed like he was responding directly, like, thanks, bro, let's make it happen, that type of thing.
Right.
But so I think I spoke to him a little bit, and then his assistant was the one that was coordinating. She would send videos and pictures, talk of them talking about what they wanted, and then I kind of coordinated with her to deliver it.
That's so cool, dude.
Yeah.
Did he advertise on his page?
He shared some videos of it. He put it on his story. Yeah, it was pretty surreal, honestly, because
That's
a lot
awesome.
of the people we work with now are just we work with musicians, rappers, celebrities like that. But I mean, it's so unique, and he's a mobster and jewelry, to make a pinky ring for him. It's pretty cool.
It is.
Yeah.
That's very fitting. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's cool. Having mobsters for sure is a great way to promote jewelry.
I mean, yeah, exactly. It's like, it comes with the territory kind of, you're doing, on one hand, you're doing it for a mobster. On the other hand, at that time, these guys were like the celebrities, in New York City. Obviously, they were, I guess you can say, criminals, but they were so well known. Like, they had such an impact on New York City, on Manhattan. So they're kind of part of the history,
It's just how it is, man. Like we shouldn't glorify mobsters, but we do. It is what it is.
Exactly. Yeah.
I wish we could say we don't, but it's just always going to be that way, man. All these movies and the way they dress, the way they are, it's just there's an appeal to it. So you take that component, use it to your benefit. Can't really blame you. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I would have Sammy the Bull on my podcast.
That would be cool. Yeah. I know you did the valuetainment. You had
Adam
on, right? Never know. Maybe he could link you guys up.
Yeah, I should ask him.
He's a good storyteller. That's what kind of draws you in. The way these guys talk about their life and everything. The way they talk, it's like you just feel like you're in a movie every time they tell you something. So,
right.
You guys, you'll have a great episode, definitely.
Rafi, when I was your age, I wasn't really doing podcasts. You know what I'm saying? We were a little bit busy with something else. We weren't exactly talking to people so much.
I know. Now they're all over YouTube. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's interesting. Then there's the other guy, Michael Franzese. Yeah,
if
I'm pronouncing his name correctly.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So really, a lot of interesting jewelry. What has happened since I talked to you until now, as far as growing the company? What are certain jewelry pieces you've rolled out? How have you expanded the business? It seems like you work with a lot bigger people now. So what are some things that you've done?
Yeah, so that's one aspect of it where we made a couple pieces. We started getting recognition from, I guess you can say, A and B list celebrities, people like that, who have reached out directly.
Can you share a few of them, and also let us know like how you've gotten in touch with some of these people?
So we did a couple pieces for Diddy and the Revolt TV team, which is one of his companies, one of the media outlets that he owns. So we did a project. We made 4 custom diamond iced out Revolt pendants that he gave to some of the talent, some of the leading talent at the company as gifts. We posted that. We've had other, musicians, rappers, guys kind of reach out to us. We just recently finished a piece with Benny the Butcher. He's he signed to Rock Nation, I believe, and he's up and coming, but he's worked on songs with everyone: J. Cole, Lil Wayne, DJ Khaled. He's a big feature type of guy, and he has some of his own, hits as well. So yeah, a lot of it is us reaching out to people that we feel like could kind of represent the brand well. We have a couple of different sides to our brand. We do work with a lot of young couples and people that just want, nice custom pieces, but we have a client base that's interested in seeing us work with, hip hop, more like pop culture type figures. So a lot of it's just reaching out to them directly on Instagram, and sometimes they'll find us and hit us up and try to make something happen.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
It's pardon me. It's amazing how I'm sure when you initially started this, you probably weren't expecting to get in touch with people like this. And now once you do it, it starts to become somewhat normal, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of like you're just talking to anyone else. They'll shoot you a FaceTime, call you, message on Instagram, like, nice job, bro. Like, it's just, you realize they're just regular people too. I mean, they obviously, it is surreal in the beginning. Guys like Diddy, even Sammy the Bull, they kind of just have this aura because of how we've viewed them before, growing up and stuff. But yeah, it's part of our business. We do it once in a while, when we feel like someone is the right match and it makes sense for the brand, we'll do it. And it's definitely cool every time,
Mm-hmm. It's a pretty amazing thing, dude.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah. Even with the podcast, like now I've had some pretty big people on, and at this point it's like, of course, if I can have some massive A-list celebrity, there would be that surreal feeling, but I would still talk to them like I'm a completely normal person, Like if I had Will Smith, I would let him smack me across the face because that stuff. No, I'm joking.
No, you got it. Exactly. You gotta cater
crazy.
to each individual personality. So if that's what you need him to do, you got to take one.
Come on, Will, give me your best shot.
Exactly.
By the way, I totally would though. If I actually had him on the pod, that would be one of the first things. It'd be like, how hard do you really hit, dude?
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone's
wondering.
He's got so much smoke. Oh man, do you think I could take it? Do you think I could take it like Chris Rock, or do you think it would hurt me less or more?
Hey, I don't know. You were in the Army. You may be able to take it better. I mean,
I think I would take it better than Chris Rock did.
He was pretty good about it, given the circumstances. But and that was a crazy moment. That was
I totally thought it was acting, bro. Still part of me still think so, but
you never really know. A
lot of people weren't sure. Yeah, man. So really awesome stuff. What I'm wondering for other jewelers, right? Because there's a couple of big names. There's Aryeh Co, who also does a lot of watches. I mean, a lot of the time jewelry and watches go hand in hand. You can, then you have what's his name? That guy, Moses the jeweler. What's his company called? You know who I'm talking about. I've seen
these guys. Yeah, everyone's on Instagram. So
there's a couple of them that stand out. There's another, who are the Bahrain ones? I forgot what they're called. Anyway, there's a couple of these big names. Most of them are part of the tribe. All the big ones. What do you think is really the key in getting known? Is it really just a combination of personality, quality of material, and getting celebrities? What do you think because that's what seems to be what it is.
Right. So it's interesting because there aren't that many really different angles that people have taken. It's such an old industry. Mm-hmm. And I think the celebrity thing has always been one strategy, get high A-list celebrities wearing your jewelry at high-end events, and, other people will want to join and work with you too. So that's part of it. For me, I don't have I never had I mentioned this on the first episode. I don't have family in the business. I've built it completely off of my relationships with customers, literally one-on-one relationships. And for a long time, I've known them all personally. So for me, obviously we try to do marketing, we do some of the partnership strategy, but it's really just building relationships one at a time at this point, but also going to events. At the end of the day, it's based on trust. So that's what we've built the brand off of. The quality of the work is that obviously it's there, and it's always been a priority for us. But the main focus is really maintaining the relationships, building them, and constantly improving the experience so that when you buy a piece from us, you enjoy it and you don't even think twice to come back to us. The content is one thing, but we're really referral based. So that's what it comes down to more, just having that personal touch, gaining trust with clients and building relationships where they want to send their whole family to you, without even thinking twice. But yeah, there's definitely jewelers that kind of put themselves out there more as a public figure or celebrity kind of figure on social media. But we're kind of a hybrid in that way, where I don't personally like taking all the attention, but we'll work with people that we find are cool, and we'll try to, make good content for the people watching. So it's a little bit of a reserved approach, but it works. Thank God.
Awesome. And God willing, I'll be able to help that even more, hopefully. And in terms of, my big guests, you're the only jeweler that I know on a personal level. So you got in early, my guy.
I know. You talk to a lot of people. Look, there are definitely a lot of jewelers out there, but there's only one me, one you. I know it sounds cliche, but it's true. And with something like this, you're spending a lot of money. They're high ticket items. Could be a lot of time you're investing in creating a piece. It's a meaningful experience. So yeah, even though it's a slower growth doing it this way, it's something that feels more fulfilling, and it's been working. So
good. That's awesome. When you mention the components that work for you in growing your business, it reminds me of real estate. Well, the podcast as well. It's really, the fact is, man, I mean, if you want to grow a business in today's day and age, having high profile people that support your brand is going to be the fastest way to growth.
Right.
With the podcast, if all of my guests are people that nobody knows, it's virtually impossible to grow it. Even with people who have names, it can be challenging. But with real estate as well, if I start having Rick Ross, Eminem, 50 Cent, Leonardo DiCaprio, if I'm getting even C-list celebrities, but especially if I start to get big name celebrities buying and selling houses with me, people are going to be like, yo, did you hear Rafi helped Rick Ross buy his house, blah, blah, blah. Right. People are going to want to work with you simply because you have this celebrity kind of name attached to it. And it sounds silly, but people subconsciously think if those kinds of people want to work with this guy, he must be doing something right? There's a reason they chose him when they could have chosen anyone else. And people want to be associated with that. Like, dude, I'm working with a celebrity realtor. I'm working with a blah, blah, blah. So regardless of the industry you're in, whether you're a celebrity dentist, a celebrity plastic surgeon, a celebrity attorney, there is a prestige to that, and people want to be associated with that prestige. And so I think in any industry you're in, it's going to benefit you.
Yeah, it's I was just talking about this with somebody. It's interesting because you can have a client base that's completely disconnected from that world. Like even for us, for instance, I mean, you're in Miami, do real estate, it's different, but in jewelry industry in New York, it's a lot of people in our community and stuff like that. They may not necessarily have like an interest or see themselves connected to the pop culture and things like that. But there is still something psychologically where they see you as the person that kind of, like, if they're associated with you, they kind of like you said, are associated with that as well. And it's just, like you said, it's a certain level of prestige where even if it's not something you think about daily, when you see it, you want to kind of be involved in that circle, and you want to see yourself as being associated on that same level. So definitely helps. And it definitely says a lot about the brand when we're able to do it. And I'm sure for you as well, if you could sell a house to Rick Ross, who else is out there? DJ Khaled. I mean, everyone's in Miami.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I'm sure you're working with these guys, and it'll elevate the brand definitely.
Yeah, man. And I know that over the course of time, like, I haven't had the opportunity to work with any celebrities yet on the real estate side, but I know that if I stay at the podcast game and real estate game together long enough, if people know that I do both of those things, it's only a matter of time until somebody at some point will be of a certain, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
whether it's a movie star, an athlete, someone at some point. Because if I have enough high profile guests, one of them is either going to buy, sell, rent, invest, or one of their friends or family members or someone in their circle. It's bound to happen. If I make, 1,000 episodes, I'd be really shocked if that doesn't happen at some point. And I've already gotten there. I just haven't actually closed the transaction yet with someone, but I've already been in touch with some pretty well-known people who've been interested in real estate. So
It's a little choppy. Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah. You hear me?
yep.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. And I think with real estate too, you come off as a trustworthy guy. Obviously, you want a property, you want to put a nice location, whatever your needs are. But even though there can be a million realtors out there in Miami, they still want to work with somebody that is relatable, genuine, and you come off that way. So it's like you said, it's literally a matter of time until you get discovered by one of these, big public figures with a cool network, and just explodes.
Yeah, and that's what's so beautiful, dude. It's like you get a guy like Diddy for your jewelry. He'll send 30. These people also, I think some of them want to help, but it's also a sign of power for them to be able to give you that kind of business, right? So some people will say, wait a minute, he did a great job for me. Let me send him 50 people just to flex, and that helps you. You know what I mean? They're like, you know what? I'm going to send every fucking person I know to this person.
Right. And that's why we see that even from our own client base, guys who are hustlers. It is a flex in a way, and that is how you show your value, in not every relationship, you have
Tremendous value.
But it's definitely, yeah, it shows obviously an appreciation, but also, as the old saying is, your network is your net worth. So definitely something as an entrepreneur, you always could be proud of it. And yeah, like you said, to flex and just be like, here's 30 customers like that. I mean, it's like, what else can you do? It says it all. So,
I mean, if someone brings me even two, I mean, it can be any one,
yeah.
but if someone brings me 30 buyers or sellers, I will go above and beyond for that person day in and day out. I mean, even if they didn't bring me those people, I would do it. But all the more so, if some famous guy goes, oh, hey, here's 30 of my friends, I'm sure at some point they'll want to buy or sell. And over the course of several years, I help each and every one of those people out. That person's my dog. Like like, what do you
Yeah.
need, dude? I'm here for you. Let me help you. What can I do for you?
Yeah. And you know what it is also? It's not even for a lot of these guys, or just for people who have networks like that and have like trust from people. It's not even hard for them to do it, but they do value it, and they actually genuinely want to refer. Like their referrals mean a lot to them for their own reputation. So they can just in 2 seconds send a mass text like, here's the new jeweler, here's the new realtor.
Right.
Just go to him. He has my blessing. But it still takes time to actually earn that from them, obviously. So it's interesting how quickly they can do it, but also it's still so valuable to them, sending your network.
Yeah, because if you also fuck that up for all their friends, I mean, they gave you they're like, hey buddy, I'm giving you a huge arm here. Don't fuck it up. Like if I'm giving you 30 friends of mine, don't let me down, and so you have a huge responsibility, and you should do that regardless of whether they're famous or not. I want people listening to this to be very clear. I'm not just giving my best service to someone who's famous, but calling a spade, someone who's famous is like, you want to be extra careful. And you should be, you either understand what I'm saying or you don't. It's very simple.
Well, yeah. And
I'm not going to over-explain. I'm not going to over-explain myself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And by famous also, just someone who has could be one of our friends that you just know has a big network.
Right.
Same thing, it's like, if you know that everyone deserves top-notch service, like you said, but obviously it says something when you have a business that's both of ours, that's like majorly based on referrals to really perform and especially with people like that who could send you a lot of customers.
Yeah, like I'll give you a very simple example. My barber is amazing, right? Shout out to Manny. He's at a barbershop called Tonsorial Barbershop in Aventura. Get your cuts from him. Bada bing, bada boom. See, I'm doing it right now. Every time I go to a haircut, every time I go get a haircut by him, I always put him on Instagram.
It's good to know, actually, for, you know, even myself, when I'm out there, I'm always looking for someone good. So
he does a great job, dude. It's a really cool shop. It's like a gentlemanly shop. They give you booze if you want. You just chill. It's a great vibe there. So I know that if I go to him, he always kicks ass. He gives a great cut. But I wouldn't be surprised if a celebrity, if Leonardo DiCaprio walks in, he's going to take really, really long time to make sure that haircut's as good as possible. I don't blame him for that, right? Because Leonardo is probably going to tip him $200. Maybe he won't, but like, you know, it's Leonardo DiCaprio. He's not going to mess up my haircut. He always does a great job, but I can't expect him to spend every, you know, millisecond making sure that every snip is perfect. Because listen, he's used to it. I come to him every time. Some A-list guy comes in, he's like, all right, shit, I better be on my A++ game with this guy. So it's an understandable thing. I wouldn't blame him for that.
It's human nature. I think everyone understands that in general.
You know, what's also, yeah, I think people get that. What's also great though is at this point, any famous guy, really anybody, but especially any celebrity that I know, if they ask me for a great barber in the area, I'm going to send them to him.
Yeah.
You know, and like, that's the best thing. And like, he knows that too. So I'm going to make sure he listens to this.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to make sure he listens to this. I'm totally taking credit for this. Anyway. Yeah, man. So it's a super valuable thing. And I think a lot of people are either afraid of getting in touch with some of these high profile people. I think they over pedestalize them and they don't realize that they're just people like we are. And another thing is that they don't necessarily think that they're capable of acquiring that sort of network, because they think to themselves, well, I'm not where I want to be yet. You know, I'm not famous myself. I haven't built my business up to a point where these people are willing to work with me. I think you also have to prove your value. So, you know, say we'll keep using Rick Ross as an example. Say Rick Ross was like, hey, I got a budget of $20 million. I'm not going to overdo his accent.
Yeah.
I gotta, you know, but I'm looking to spend $20 million on a waterfront property in Miami Beach. Help me find it. I'm not going to be like, hey, you know, I haven't really done that price point before. I don't know. Maybe you should use someone else. Let's do it. Whatever I don't know, I'm going to talk to agents that do know those price points. And I have, thank God at this point, many agents that I know do those kinds of price points. So be it. Like, I'm good. I got this. If there's anything I don't know, I have people that know. And worst case scenario, I'll bring another agent on board to make sure that everything's smooth. But there's absolutely no reason why I can't lock in a $20 million property for a client. If you want to buy a $20 million property, call me. Got you. I'll take care of you.
Yeah, you make it happen.
And I haven't done a $20 million property yet. And I'm saying that knowing that I can still get the job done gladly, easily, and happily.
Right. Yeah. You just reminded me, because similar situation where we just finished a piece. I've been posting about it a little bit. It was an emerald cut diamond eternity band. Each stone in the ring was a carat plus, like certified stone. Retail is about 80K, 75, 80K just for the ring. It's a beautiful piece, but it's insane when you see it. Every single stone is 1 carat and up. You know, that was something we definitely don't get a lot, but when you first hear that's the request, you're like, wow, that's a crazy ring. But at the end of the day, you've done jobs, either, you know, even if they're on a smaller scale, you know the steps, you know what you have to do. So it's like you said, just about having confidence that you could figure it out, make sure it comes out perfect. You know, it's high. It's could be higher pressure, but it's, you know, it says a lot, and that's the type of thing that when you start to realize you're taking your brand to the next level when you get bigger projects like that also. So,
well, pressure creates diamonds. It was that saying couldn't have fit more perfectly. Couldn't have fit more perfectly in this.
Yeah, exactly. And high stakes situations, you know, you're going to get those calls. I'm sure you're going to kill it, you know?
Oh, dude, I'll go into it everything I got. I mean, I
Yeah.
love this shit. I'm built for it. Someone wants a $20 million house, let's do it. I would love to show up to that house, show them the property, meet the listing agent. God willing, I'll be listing those properties soon. And I mean, my brokers are kick-ass brokers. They do deals like that. They are more than knowledgeable on things like that. And pretty much in every major city here, I know a realtor who kicks ass with these price points. So it's very, anything that I need to know, I give them a ring and say, hey, what's the story here? Do you have anything off market? Do you have any listings for it? It's really not that complicated.
Do you do homes or like all residential, or do you do commercial?
Residential. What I really want to do primarily is luxury residential real estate. I'll do commercial as well, but I want to do what I enjoy. So this way I'm more willing to immerse myself in it, So like I want to invest in commercial property, but I don't necessarily enjoy the components of it as much. Like, yeah, the money, of course, but I like the everyday of looking at beautiful homes. Like walking into a beautiful, massive house is a lot more enticing to me than walking into some warehouse and,
100%.
That's just me. Yeah.
And yeah.
Sorry?
No, I was gonna say, you get to meet, interesting people that way on a personal level.
Yeah, you're much more likely to meet these big profile people within luxury residential real estate as opposed to, dealing with warehouses and things like that. And the thing is, meeting those high profile clients in residential will bring you the opportunity to work with them in commercial, because they have money. So say you help them buy or sell a big property, they'll say, you know what? I just made X amount of money on that sale. I'm interested in buying some warehouses. Boom. Now you have a double deal, double, triple, quadruple, whatever it is. So all these possibilities are endless. I love the referral aspect of this business. That's what I was missing previously before I did real estate, was I didn't have that referral component to my business. And it's like, truthfully, I mean, most businesses do work on referrals when you really think about it.
Right.
But the kind of business I was in did not. Like loans.
Yeah.
It's not a referral-based business.
It's like, it's the opposite. I mean,
it's the opposite.
It's like, in theory, you want referrals, but then it's like referral and then steal your deal type of thing.
Referrals on what, dude? Yeah, exactly. So
real estate seems like it could be fun. I mean, do you service mostly Miami or Aventura? Like, what areas? You just do all?
Yeah, so I typically do anywhere from Brickell all the way up to, North Broward. I'll even touch Boca. What if a deal is a little bit further than I'd like it to be? So say if a deal is really more than an hour's drive and I'm working with a buyer, I'm probably going to refer it out only because I want the buyer to get the proper service. And I don't want the buyer to be held up. We're like, oh, I can't make it today. I have this and that, because it's an hour each way. So It really depends on what's going on. If it's a higher price deal, I'm obviously going to put priority on it. And and people might not like to hear that, but I'm just an honest person. I'm not a liar. Like, oh, you'll give the same amount of time of a 200K property than a $50 million. Yeah, okay. You're full of shit.
Yeah.
Like, sorry.
People want honest nowadays more than ever. People want the transparency nowadays more than ever, Yeah,
it's just like, stop bullshitting people, dude. If you're making a $500,000 commission versus like a $6,000 commission, you're going to put the same amount of time on your 200K property. It's just horseshit. It really is. It's not to say I will not put a tremendous amount of my time, but it's like, if the buyer of a $20 million house wants to meet at 1:00 and my, $110,000 buyer wants to meet at 1:00, I mean, it is what it is. I would even probably tell the buyer for the 120K property that I'm about to meet the $20 million buyer. And if he or she is a decent person, I'd be like, yo, like, who am I to stop you? That's what I would say if I was working with a realtor. The realtor I'd be like, yo, go get it, man. Like, we'll meet at 2, no worries,
Yeah, that's the I mean, it's a benefit of luxury. Obviously, as you grow, it gets harder, but when you have a client base that you build personal relationships with. It's not that you necessarily need to like involve them and or make excuses and this and that, but they also want you to do well, not just because we talked about the branding and working with celebrities, but just because they genuinely like seeing you grow. They want to contribute to that. You did well by them. I think most people, I mean, especially if you're a business person, you know, I understand that 100%.
Yeah, I don't mean to say, I know it maybe doesn't come off the sweetest way possible. It's just I'm being completely transparent, you know, like again, I would be very understanding if it was the other way around on my end.
Exactly.
And maybe that's why I say it like this, because I would hear the logic in it. Yeah, I would hear the logic in it and be like, dude, go kill it. Like I'll see you later. It's not a big deal. Yeah, man. So are there any other things you wanted to cover? I know we haven't done like a really long episode this time, but
no, I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's always cool to touch base. I know obviously I wanted to be out there to do it. We could do one in person at some point, maybe in episode 3, you know, spice things up a little bit, but no, I mean, we're growing, thankfully. It's cool to share some of our new projects. You know, like I said, I'm not necessarily always out there on social media myself making videos, and we're trying to start doing some more behind the scenes stuff, but these podcasts are great. It's honestly crazy how it's like the #1 form of media, I'm sure now, in terms of what people consume for entertainment. And it's cool to be on here and just, you know, share some updates with you, see how you guys are doing. So
yeah, dude, for sure. And God willing, when I build out like a real studio, because that's my plan for the near future, to have like a really cool studio. And you bring some pieces and we can advertise them like in the studio itself. But yeah, I really want to build out something really cool, so I don't want to talk too much before it happens, but I want to put some serious money into a real legitimate studio, hire the right, you know, marketing teams, and do something really cool. So once that's done, you'll come by, we'll have some drinks, we'll grab food also, but it'll be a totally different game than just doing it over the computer like this.
100%. I'll show you some nice jewels. Maybe, you know, we'll break it down, do some retail pricing on it for the audience. But it's entertaining, and definitely keep me posted.
For sure. Yeah, dude. God willing, I'll definitely. I loved some of your Israeli pieces, like some of your Jewish pieces as well. So like you know the
custom
the land, but like the custom jewelry, but like you have the land of Israel piece,
right? The map, that was really cool.
Yeah, the map, or some like nice Magen David, because like I like mine. So this is gold. I forget, it's a small piece.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
it's cool. Nice though. It's nice. It's got a nice. See it?
Yeah, it's like a nice rounded.
It kind of like intertwine. They intertwine into each other. It's cool, but I would want a larger pendant, and maybe even a larger necklace. Not longer. I love the length. It goes like right down to my chest. But yeah, it's cool.
Nice.
It's cool.
It's Miami vibes are longer chains. You know, you're on the beach or walking around, tank tops, stuff like that. It's a cool look. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool to have a shorter chain because you can see the pendant in the shirt. But I prefer chains that are a little longer. Yeah, I could get a little shorter than this because it's like in the middle of the. Well,
it depends what you're wearing with it. That's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's good. I maybe go a little bit shorter than this, but this is a good length. It works. It works. Yes, sir. So,
all right. Yeah, we'll definitely be in touch. Definitely let me know.
Absolutely. All right, ladies and gents, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Soothing Semantics. Subscribe, like, share, smash the like button, leave your comments. Make sure to check out Aryeh Rephun's wonderful custom jewelry business at Aryeh Co. You can find it on the gram. If you have any issue for whatever reason reaching out to him, whether you don't have an Instagram or you don't go on, you have a kosher phone, whatever the reason is, get in touch with me and I will get the both of you in contact. And again, for your real estate needs, Rafi the Realtor, my contact info is all there. Tune into my weekly emails and tune in to all of my podcasts at Tuesday at 8 a.m. I look forward to seeing you all. Take care. Peace.
Sir, thank you.